Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now with the time of the play clock almost up, Ron Rivera's going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
That's it. Right to the 3. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here I come. Check. 20.
And some room to work. And out across midfield down to the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the Vikings 40.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Here we go.
Newton to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets it down to the 32. That one a first down pickup of 8. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Slit 8.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the step and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Right there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newton flushed out right. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Come on, D.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
At their own 25-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
He'll buy some time right, letting one go deep. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. The run there on 1st down gets them a yard to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And the drive starts with a completion, left side. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's McCaffrey. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd and 9, Newton eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long.
Hey, watch that. Check right.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Vikings nothing.
Right through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Cousins. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
Right there.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Ready.
The 6-yard line.
8. Let's go, defense.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Gano the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Don't want to.
We know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Cousins to throw it. And he's able to find Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
As a defender, I always found the slant route extremely difficult to cover unless you're able to jump on top of it early, because once he gets his hands on the ball, he's at full speed going away from you.
It all happens in the blink of an eye, doesn't it?
It really does. The timing is so important. That ball's got to be out of the hands of the quarterback and to the receiver like that. And if it is, you often get a very successful play.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 43.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Diggs has it. Breaks through the contact. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It's a gain of 34.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. McCaffrey. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Gun. I'm here all day. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Here we go.
From the 50, Newton. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
He'll return it from the 6. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Cousins from the gun on third, escaping the pressure right. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Look at him. 54. Mike, 54. You don't want none. Get it. Pick up the ball.
On first and 10, Newton. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Gano now to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27.
Next to score, Panthers 27, Vikings nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
From the 25 on second down, Cousins, left side caught by Diggs. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards on the play, first down. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Cousins now. The throw complete to Beebe. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
A gain of 14. First down, Vikings.
I'm coming on 48. Switch it.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, Ringo, 48. Recon, 132 fighter.
They run, Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage is coming through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Well, I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Here's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Brian Burns. And that will force a turnover on downs. And now with the time of the play clock almost stopped, Ron Rivera's going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Hey. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Get in the weight room. Now
it's Newton. Rolling to his right. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Yeah, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
Throwing again. Newton steps away to his left. He's going to look deep, trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Fights off the defender, and he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
You got nothing today. You got nothing. Hey, 382, last 50. Protein spill. Where's your hot?
Again, it's Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Off play action, Newton. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm, incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. Right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Lynn 50.
To throw, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Push him back.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. He's trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw is Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 41-yard line.
24-yard gain on the play.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Cousins again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Now Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
On a jet sweep, this is Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Olabisi Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to get a score back. On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
36.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Carolina. 54 yards.
And the Panthers, first down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Being chased out left. He'll run it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. His 2nd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Elsewhere, a fourth quarter score now from Tampa. And now that one really widening up. The Bucs have just scored again. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Let's go, defense.
Throwing here, Newton. Man open, that's Ray McLeod. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Following the interception, Cousins throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And Diggs has it. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Panthers, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.